Hello. Now, this is strictly an experiment. Um, People often ask me, what's it like to be in heart? They're not sure if they're there or not. And I've just been going along, kind of trusting Source to speak that into the journals. And it often comes up. I've got one I haven't read for you yet, the most recent one I wrote. It's called First Steps Away from Mind. What is that like? But the thing is, I'd say, I'm guessing, for the last 3 or 4 days, I have, oh, words, people, words. You know, you understand. We've all had transcendent feelings, and see, that's not even right for it. But I thought maybe I would turn on the webcam and try to describe how I'm feeling, what this is like. So what I do is I just focus my attention in the middle of my chest. And there's a connection you make there. And it's a kind of sensation. It's not like anything floods throughout the body, or it's not got anything to do with chakras or anything else. But there's a feeling. And it's my signal that my attention is well situated there. And it's almost as if, okay, on the ray of your attention, you're pouring energy. If we all had third eye vision, we could see the ray of energy that goes out through your eyes. It's very real. And if you've ever been looked at by a master or by someone who is, well, awakened, very together, deeply spiritual, you will feel those eyes and that energy on you. And so this feels like I'm taking that energy that would normally go out through my eyes and I'm pouring it into my heart. So it's as if there's a flow from above into the heart. And it's pouring there, and I'm kind of pouring me into there in doing this. Remember, we're energy beings. We're not the body. But even the body is an energy being, energy manifestation here. And so and you can feel your presence in heart intensifying and growing. Now, for me, it opens up into the all. There's no limitations or restrictions. And so anything can be pondered when our focus is there. And the experience of it is very different. It's more a sensing. As a for instance, I love to sun gaze. And I go through different cycles, you know. I don't have any little lists of, you know, I do this, this, and this in this order or on this day or whatever. There's none of that in my life. But it's a sacred time for me when that setting sun comes through this window. Um, this was my family home, and my mom would close the drapes because it can be blinding. I love it. I do. I really love it. And so I like to set that time aside to just gaze on the sun. Um, and so we could call it an open-eyed meditation. Now, I'm not suggesting you gaze for half an hour on the sun like I do here. This is just said or spoken as an example. You can gaze on a candle flame or whatever, a mandala. There's a heart connection that's made. I'm aware that all of cosmos literally exists within heart. Get out of your head, be in heart. It's in your heart as well. You've heard the universe in a grain of sand. Yeah, it's a fact. It takes a good deal of detaching from identifying with physicality and pulling weeds, old beliefs that keep you boxed, bound, and limited to your form or to your mind, your thoughts. No limitations. Those are pretty flowers, the no limitation kind. Okay, so it looks to other people like there's a body sitting on the couch here, looking out through the window, gazing at the setting sun. That's just a surface appearance. I know that's not what's going on here. That sun is not external to me. And with my focus and heart this way, I meet it inside of me, or I can. You know, it takes reminding, it takes centering. And so I'm aware that I'm not reaching outside of me, of who I am, in order to focus on the sun. So I go inside of me to look for it, if you will. And I'll sense it. And I'll find it in there. Sometimes I'll play with perspective, having flexible perspective. You can have lots of fun games that way. Sometimes I'll be the sun, gazing on this body, on this avatar here, and I'll take that perspective. It's just as valid as any other. Lately, what I've been doing, I'm in love with the sun, by the way. I don't know why. It just, to me, it represents divinity. And so it's worshiping God that's going on with this love. It's loving God through the representation of the sun. And so that's the relationship. And that's how, and it's inside of me. It's all love. Everything is love. Okay, so there's a real worship and adoration there. I think it could bring tears to anyone's eyes to contemplate what the sun means to us. There would be no life whatsoever without it. It nurtures us. You've got all those lists of things that it does for you. Okay, that's a mental way. And sometimes you can take a mental path up to this doorway. But when you walk into the door of heart, you leave thoughts behind. You're sensing now. You're not thinking. It's more akin to feeling. Okay, so I locate the sun inside of myself. And I just look at it while being empty. There's no need to exchange words or thoughts with it. I am it. It's not outside of me. Gazing upon the sun is self-contemplation. So I have it inside. Lately, what I've been doing is expanding my wings out into the solar system. And so as I gaze upon the sun inside of me, I have this awareness of the radiation of the sun extending out through the solar system, all the planets. I haven't considered the moons yet, just focusing on the planets. As I look and I'm seeing the sun's radiation, I guess it's called the heliosphere, I'm not sure, and how far out that reaches. I know too that I am that. As I'm looking at this, when I first started doing this, I noticed I still tended to have a perspective that put me on the third planet out. And so I knew that I wasn't fully centered. There was still some identity with Earth, maybe with the body. No big deal. It's just that from the picture, from the sensing, see, the sensing will tell us. As we're sensing things, all we have to do is look at the picture that we're getting, and it will tell us things. It will show us things. And what it's showing us is about ourself. There's nothing that you are not. Everything you're being shown at any time is about you. It's a great cure for prejudice, or for finger pointing, or for judgment, or any of that. You know, we get over that hump very easily if it's not done in recognizing and realizing that we have many, 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 many lifetimes, many perspectives, many attitudes, good guy, bad guy, and everything in between. And there's just nothing that we haven't done. We wanted to understand it all. We wanted to master it. We wanted to know 3D inside out, upside down, and sideways, and we do. And it's been largely via all of these embodiments, all of these lifetimes. If you want to, in your meditation, when you go inside, it's kind of, like I say, it's a sensing thing. And it's kind of like well, see, I'm clairsentient. I think we all are. I don't know. I know that we're all telepathic. We have these senses. We're just not used to owning them. And so we're not used to using them. So go in there and just contemplate in heart. Just have an awareness that you have other lifetimes. Maybe put the earth in the center of your chest there, in your heart. You're in your heart and you find the earth there. and just gaze on the earth, maybe be in the center of the earth or whatever. Do it however you want, but just have the earth together with your awareness that you have many lifetimes here. And then just gaze, no thoughts, no expectations. Just hold these two together. And then what you're doing is you're listening and you're letting them talk to you. Now, anything can happen. You can set out with one idea, you know, and in mind, and maybe what'll happen instead is that you'll have a really deep inner communion with Mother Earth. You know, the planet is a conscious being, and it can be communicated with like that. You're a cell in the body of the planet. Okay? And the sun, it's the same way. The sun is also a conscious being. Transcendent, yes. But the solar system is also a being. As I've gone into heart for these meditations, now I found this stuff out for myself, okay? I didn't read it in a book somewhere. I would just be out and about and exploring. I used to practice expanding my awareness, and it's in my earlier journals from like early 2010, I guess. I don't remember some of the first journals you'll find these meditations because I put them out there. And I would expand. And what I would try to do back then is I would start with the earth, and then I would expand my awareness to the sun and include it. And then I would, do the solar system. And not until I really, felt that connection inside would I move on then and expand to the galaxy. The goal at that time, as I initially laid it out, was to expand beyond to the universe and then to all universes, which I saw as cells in the body of cosmos. And so not very often would I make it out to universe, much less cosmos. And I would be addressed. There were times when in my meditation I would be addressed by one of these magnificent beings. And I have to tell you, it stunned me each time it would happen. You're just bippity bopping along in your own little love meditation. And all of a sudden, Source will bring these things to you in heart. Okay, I don't know if this has been useful at all. But I feel like if you're listening from heart especially, my focus is so strongly there, you really can't mistake it. And this focus in this heart is the same as your focus in your heart. And so it strengthens you and it supports you and it will carry you if you will let it, so that you can have the sensations and the feelings and get the sense of it, so that you'll know what you're looking for. I hope it's useful. You know how it is. Get to me in the comments if you have anything to say. Thank you.